What's going on, friends? So this is going to be a bit of a different video. I wanted to kind of record this to reflect on 2024, think about all the lessons I've learned, all the things I'm going to be taking into the next year, but also have a record of where I was at the end of this year, so I can look back at it, and future me hopefully can see that I was somewhat introspective. Hopefully I'm wiser in the future. I better be. But yeah, just a quick record, but also I had some points that I'd written down that I wanted to share with y'all to see if it might resonate with any of you guys and help you guys moving forward. So some context, 2024 was an insane year, both in terms of fitness, being able to do the half Ironman, high rocks, half marathons. I was never a fitness buff. I ran my first mile last August. In terms of just the fitness realm, it was a big jump for me. But also business-wise, I set a goal for us to do 100K in rev. We were able to do that 3 months in a row, ending the year pretty strong. So those are all really awesome goals that I've been able to achieve, but there's a lot of stuff that I learned that I wanted to reflect on moving into the next year, because the more you reflect on it, the faster you learn from it. So the first thing is buy back your time. I feel like we're programmed to be in places we don't want to be with people we don't want to be, do the shit that we don't want to do. But life is so rich. Life is so beautiful. You do all the work so that you can avoid the shit that you don't want to do and put all your energy and time into the stuff that you want to do. I found that my time was occupied by the stuff that I totally didn't want to do. But I'm not in school anymore. I'm a fucking grown-ass man, and I can just outsource a lot of these things that I don't want to do, so I can put all my energy into stuff that I do want to do, which is business. So stuff like cooking, stuff like cleaning, which I particularly didn't enjoy. If you enjoy it, like, if that's your hobby, right? But I didn't really enjoy that. I really put a focus on outsourcing all of that stuff. And that taught me a lot about delegation, especially on a lot of the menial stuff. Being able to delegate that to someone that's reliable, someone that does the job, being able to quickly think of stuff where you can buy your time back. Cleaning, cooking, all that stuff I've outsourced. I realized my time is worth way more than what it costs to get that outsourced. Having that understanding, being able to see the bigger picture, being able to see that you're old enough, have enough resources to be able to do that kind of stuff, was a big change for me, because for the longest time, my mom used to tell me all the successful people do the work themselves, and that's true to some extent, but you got to focus on a higher level of leverage, because if you don't, you're going to be just stuck doing the shit that you can outsource someone for a very modest rate. So being able to buy my time was a big lesson, and I'm constantly looking for ways to do that in the future, whether that's small menial tasks. Like, I enjoy coding, but sometimes if I have to code something for our communities, I'll have it outsourced, because my time is way more valuable than the time I spend actually coding, even though I can do it myself. Like, that's the part that pisses you off. It's like, you can do it yourself, but you're spending money. Why, right? Because you're buying back your time, because your time can be spent doing something way higher leverage. So just focusing on that was one thing, and actionable steps are automate everything that can be automated, delegate things that can be delegated, and eliminate things that can be eliminated. Some things you just don't need to do. Number 2, stack advantages in your favor. If you're starting a new venture, whether that was fitness, whether that was business, when I got into fitness, I was like, okay, what are some advantages I have over people that started before me? And for me, it was like, okay, I have more resources. I can get the best gym. I can get the best trainer. But the same thing applies when you're in a new venture. When we joined the TikTok shop space, I was like, okay, there's a lot of stuff we don't know, but what do we know? What can we bring here? What advantages do we have? And it's like experience with direct response marketing, experience with meta ads, experience with creatives from that angle, being able to transfer that into shop, and also being able to take Shopify videos and run ads on it. Not a lot of people can do that, because not a lot of people are familiar with Facebook ads and whatnot. So when we first started our brand, it was all about how can we stack advantages in our favor so that we can get from level 1 to level 2 a lot quicker, right? Because it's always going to be a grind. When you're doing something for the first time, it's always going to be a grind, but you just got to figure out what elements you can take from the rest of your life, your previous experiences, stack them together, and gain more momentum quicker in this new venture. So that's number 2. Number 3 is embrace the unique idea of you. You are your own person. And this is something I've struggled with a lot until maybe 2 years ago. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, I sat down with myself and I was like, what is your personality? If you had to describe your personality, what would it be? And my mind would blank because I would just do things that I thought people would like. So over the last few years, obviously confidence from other aspects of my life adds to it, but I've truly realized like the best way to win in business is being able to embrace your uniqueness, because you are the captain of the ship. You have the vision, you have where you want to go, you have your desires, what kind of lifestyle you want to build, what kind of people you want to be with. And if you don't know who you are, you can't align all of those things together. You can mesh them together. You can build your unique path to success. Now, if someone gives you the blueprint for doing something, there's a high likelihood that that exact blueprint, if you copy it step by step, will not work for you, because that's how they found their way. You know, a lot of the times these blueprints are just basically suggestions. You can take lessons out of them, but you should never copy somebody else's path to success or path to getting at whatever level they're at. So being able to embrace the unique idea of yourself, and being able to, damn, what the fuck happened? Why is this? There we go. Okay. Being able to embrace the unique idea of yourself, being able to use that as an advantage. A lot of the stuff that is unique to me, for example, fitness, high rocks, my quirky hobbies, a lot of the times, those are the things that will help me connect with like-minded individuals, whether that's talent. I look at the stuff that's unique to me and I build a team around me, because then we're just aligned on the same incentives. And I love people that can truly show off the unique side of them. I don't like people that are cookie cutter, because they don't bring anything to the table apart from being able to replicate other people. So when thinking about potential people to work with, when thinking about ways to approach a problem, a lot of the times what makes me unique shows in how I approach these problems, right? So one thing that I want to do is really understand who I am, what my motivations are, what my passions are, what I like, what I don't like, so I can really align my life towards one goal, towards the best version of me that I want, and not necessarily worry about what's right or wrong, what other people think is right or wrong, because that has served me way more than looking at other people and seeing what they think is right or wrong. Embracing the unique idea of you, constantly looking inwards, taking inspiration from others, but understanding that you are your own person, you're gonna find your own way in life. That's a big confidence booster. That's more of a mental thing than anything else. The best plan of action for this is think more. Look inwards more. Spend more time just with your own thoughts. That's one thing that I didn't have to do because I was introverted by nature, so I had plenty of time to kind of reflect and learn about myself. That's number 3. Number 4 is true richness is the people around you, man. Like, this was a big thing, man. After a certain point, money doesn't mean shit. Like, you can, after a certain level of income, you can probably eat at the nicest restaurants without getting hit hard on the wallet. You can drive the nicest cars, but what matters is the people you're building this shit with. And that's something that I've realized for a while now, because I've had a very strong group of friends around me. I have a small circle, but every one of them is a ride or die. I'm grateful for those people. I'm grateful to be building cool shit with them. And the same thing applies with my team, right? I would not hire someone that is not a good culture fit, someone that we don't like, someone that it's not going to add to the team's energy. There's a lot of people that, when we're considered contractors or we're considering people that, you know, work full or part-time with us, even though they might be able to do the job well, we will look past them because they're just not a good fit. They just don't have the energy that the team has. Keeping that energy and building a solid group of ride or die people around you in all aspects of your business, your friendship, your family. Like, I'm grateful to have a great family. It just teaches me that those are the true richness in life. Doing all that shit together with a solid group of friends versus being the lone wolf is, I think that's what life is about. The 5th one is invest in yourself. This is a big thing. Being able to invest in knowledge, courses, mentorship, your health. I think overall I invested probably like 30K in 2024 just in myself, whether that's fitness, courses, mentorship, communities that I've joined, and it served me 10 times over. It was an insane ROI. Because at the end of the day, like, I've always had back of my head, I've always wanted to invest in myself. I've always forced myself to invest in myself because I understand that at the end of the day, you are the only thing you have forever. You have you until you die. Everything else can be taken away from you, your business, your assets, everything can be taken away from you. But the idea of you, your mind, your health, you will have that for the rest of your life. Investing in that stuff is so important. One of my plans actually is to invest upwards of 60, 70K in 2025 and just in myself. Whether that's courses, going to meetings, going to what the fuck is the word for it? I'm blanking on the word. Masterminds, courses, fitness stuff, health, personal coaching, all that kind of stuff. That's a big thing for me. That's one of my goals for 2025 is to invest a lot of money into myself. The final one, because I have a ton of lessons, but these are like the most important, is like great things take time to build. This is something I realize is like after you get over the hump of whatever, $10,000 a month normal income, you start thinking about ways to build a competitive advantage that not a lot of people can penetrate very easily. And if you look at big companies like Amazon, Apple, all those things can never be built in a day. All the things have taken years and years and years and years to be the companies that they are. Well, just looking at those examples, but even looking at smaller examples, like smaller companies that have taken 4 or 5 years to build. A good example of this is one of my favorite brand, Represent, right? Like they started as a t-shirt company and now they're doing upwards of 100 million. You can't build that in a day. And as the entrepreneur, you wouldn't want anyone to be able to build that in a day, because then competitors would just come and destroy you, and that would be pretty much every industry if you could move that fast. So being able to stack big assets in terms of things that take a long time to build, whether that's your team, having a solid team takes time to build because you have to go through hundreds of applications, you have to go through hundreds of contractors that do mediocre or shit work, and then you have to find the rock stars and you have to retain them. That's one thing. Your skill set, your experience, being able to like experience failure or pivot, all of these things are another thing that people have to go through that shit. Like you can't experience things in a day. You can't. It takes time. So all of those things are what give me my competitive advantage over someone that's starting out. Maybe in the future we'll have like some Neuralink shit where you can just fucking copy paste experiences in someone's brain, then we're cooked. But right now those things give you the advantages where even if someone comes into your business, even if someone tries to compete with you, you have those assets built out, and they would have to go through the same painstaking process to get to that point. And that is what deters a lot of competition. So great things take time to build, and I'm still learning this because my timeline might be a lot shorter than someone that's been around the block in terms of business. Constantly expanding that timeline of building shit before you put it out there for people to see. An example of this is like drop shipping versus building a brand. Drop shipping, go through products immediately, but look at how many people do that. There's so much competition on every product that's on AliExpress or Alibaba. But building your own brand, building an audience, building sales skills, all of that shit takes time, and it yields equivalent results. So those are the few lessons that I learned in 2024. I hope you guys not only enjoy this video, but you guys can resonate with this video. If there's certain things that you do resonate with, drop them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to chat more about it. I'm excited to see what 2025 brings. I've never been more excited for a new year because of all the shit we got going on, all the things we've planned, but also all the self-improvement that I can do, all the things that I can work on, all of the momentum I can take from 2024. Super excited for that year. Super excited to keep bringing this content. Super excited to bring in more raw content if that's something you guys want. I truly did enjoy sharing or having this conversation with you, because a lot of the times me and my friends will be just talking shit, having conversations like these, but it's never recorded. Being able to record this, being able to sit in front of a camera and tell my truth, which is not necessarily something that everyone might relate with, is something that I did take away from this year. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.